itself. So, and also Bihar group, I'll give you input for the last two sessions. So you have to make the newsletter beforehand so that we can compile and get it print for releasing it during the valedictory. So this two group is little bit on toes who have to work. And the BR second group who have to make reflections, you can do it and give it later. We will attach it later because reflection last session तक जाते हैं. वैलिडेटरी भी रिफ्लेक्शन होगा. सो आप कंप्लीट करके दे दीजिए सो दैट हम दोबारा अटैच करके फाइनल प्रिंट ले लेंगे. ठीक है. एंड द लास्ट फाइनल वन विल बी शेयर्ड विद एवरीवन फॉर योर यूज आल्सो. सो अभी हम लास्ट फिफ्थ डे में हैं. फिफ्थ डे वी आर इंटरनेट अभी तक नहीं आया. अपलोड हो गया. We'll check it. Okay. So today is the last day. We will be wanted to take more of reflections, but we have just 7-8 minutes for reflections today. So we would like to know your reflection based on the last 4 days of your learning experience. Okay? What you have learned, what you have experienced here. Would you like to share your reflection? If anybody is, you can share your reflection. What you have learned, what you have seen new, or do you think something should be really taken to your place? You can share your reflections accordingly.
सभी को नमस्कार. मेरा नाम इरशाद अहमद है. मैं श्रावस्ती यूपी से हूँ और मैं एजुकेशनल टेक्नोलॉजी के बारे में बिल्कुल जीरो था. सही पूछिए तो मुझे कुछ फेसबुक, व्हाट्सएप, इंस्टा, मोबाइल पे जो ऐप्स हैं उन ऐप्स के बारे में मैं जानता हूँ, उनको चलाता हूँ, सोशल मीडिया पर एक्टिव रहता हूँ. लेकिन ये जो टेक्निकल चीज़ें थी, अरे मेरी आवाज़ दे दो. ये जो टेक्निकल चीज़ें अच्छा ठीक,
हमको सबको अच्छा.
ओके, थैंक यू. ये जो टेक्निकल चीज़ें थी और ये जो एजुकेशन में टेक्नोलॉजी का यूज़ था और दुनिया भर की जो चीज़ें बताई गई जैसे AR VR, अलग अलग तरीके के लैब्स में हम लोग गए, नया नया एक्सपीरियंस लिया हम लोगों ने. तो मेरे लिए ये बहुत नई चीज़ थी. अगर मैं सच बताऊं तो अभी भी मैंने अपना असाइनमेंट जो है सबमिट नहीं किया या नहीं कर पाया. हालांकि मैंने कोशिश की है. मैंने अपने मोबाइल में उनका फाइल बना के अमित सर की सहायता से रख लिया है और उसको सबमिट करने की कोशिश भी करूंगा. तो ओवरऑल कुल मिला जुला के एजुकेशनल लिवरेजिंग डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी की का ये जो वर्कशॉप है मेरे लिए बड़ा ही फायदेमंद रहा और मुझे एक नया आइडिया मिला और नया तरीका मिला. आगे चल के मैं इसको इम्प्लीमेंट करने की कोशिश करूंगा और मैं ये भी कोशिश करूंगा कि मोबाइल से हट के डिजिटल को यूज करूं. थैंक यू सो मच.
Thank you so much, sir. Sir, can you pass on the mic? That's it.
इधर सर.
उनको बात आपका पास वापस आएगी.
सभी को धन्यवाद, नमस्कार. मैं यहाँ आने से पहले इतना मतलब टेक्नो फ्रेंडली नहीं था. मैं जस्ट टेक्नो लवर था. मतलब पूरा दिन टेक्नोलॉजी मोबाइल यूज करता था और उसका बेनिफिट जीरो होता था. लेकिन जब यहाँ आने की बारी आई तो हमारे यहाँ स्टेट से फोन आया तो हम बोले नहीं, मैं नहीं जा सकता हूँ क्योंकि हमको कुछ आता नहीं इतना ज्यादा. बस मैं PPT बनाता हूँ, पढ़ाता दिखाता हूँ, मैं काम कागज पे कर लेता हूँ. तो हमें मेरे स्टेट से बताया कि आपके साथ मतलब हमारे यहाँ के अच्छे जानकार नवनीत सर का नाम आया कि वो जा रहे हैं. तो हम कहे चलो तब तो फिर मैं जाऊंगा क्योंकि वो इनका इतना अच्छा बिहेवियर है कि ये सारा कुछ सिखाते हैं और कॉन्फिडेंस देते हैं. जब मैं यहाँ आया तो मुझे एक साथी जम्मू के मिले, राजेश सर. उन्होंने भी मेरा बहुत मदद किया और अब मुझे ये यहाँ आने के बाद लगता है और आपका मोटिवेशन मैं हमेशा अपने क्लास में भी यूज करता हूँ. इंस्ट्रक्शन नहीं, इंस्पिरेशन दो. तो आपने जो हमें इंस्पिरेशन दिया, मोटिवेशन दिया, राजेश सर का और सिर्फ हमारे साथ रहने वाले रवदीप सर, इनके रहने से मुझे इतना कॉन्फिडेंस आया कि मैं अपना काम करना सीखा. मतलब अब करने में लगता है कि नहीं, हम इन्हें कहे कि अब हम यहाँ से जाने के बाद हम क्लास बहुत अच्छा कर सकते हैं, पढ़ा सकते हैं, लेकिन ये टेक्नो फ्रेंडली नहीं थे. अब हम टेक्नो फ्रेंडली हो पाएंगे. और यहाँ के कल्चर से, यहाँ का जो इन्वायरमेंट था, जस्ट प्रशिक्षण का जो उद्देश्य होता है कि हम एक दूसरे से सीखें. क्लास में जो होता है तो वो होता है, लेकिन शेयर करें, एक दूसरे को सिखाएं। तो यहाँ सारे स्टेट के लोग सभी एक दूसरे को इस तरह से कोऑपरेट कर रहे थे, लग रहा था अगले जन्म का कोई पुराना रिश्ता है, जन्म जन्मांतर से। उस हिसाब से ये नहीं लग रहा था कि हम लोग पहला दिन मिले हैं। चाहे वो यूपी के लोग हो, राजस्थान के, उड़ीसा के हो, सारे स्टेट के जितने भी लोग थे, सब लग रहे थे एक दूसरे को मदद कर रहे थे। हमारे RI वाले सर भी कुछ पूछे, हाथ तुरंत बता दी। ये चीज हमें बहुत अच्छा लगा और सभी लोगों को अपने यहाँ भी ये चीज इम्प्लीमेंट में लाना चाहिए कि भाई प्रशिक्षण का मतलब ये नहीं कि सब जो RP है वो जो बता रहे वो नहीं, एक दूसरे को कॉपरेट करो, तभी ये प्रशिक्षण का उद्देश्य पूरा हो पाएगा। यहाँ पे सारे लोग एक दूसरे को कॉपरेट कर रहे थे, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा। मैं कभी कहीं नहीं जाना चाहता था। मैं बिहार में शिक्षा परिषद एक ग्रुप चलाता हूँ जिसमें सारे अच्छे अच्छे विद्वान हैं, मैं उनसे सीखता, उनको जोड़ता, वहां पे बहुत सारे काम होते हैं। लेकिन अब हमें लगा कि नहीं, हमें भुवनेश्वर, उड़ीसा वगैरह जाने का या NCERT आने का अगर मौका, अब कहीं अगर जाने का मौका मिला तो मैं अब बेझिझक जाऊंगा, क्योंकि पता है कि अगर मेरे साथ वाले मजबूत है तो पूरे लोग साथ होते हैं। पहले लगता था कि नहीं हम जाएंगे तो फंस जाएंगे। चलिए इसी के साथ धन्यवाद, थैंक यू मैम, बहुत अच्छा लगा आपका मोटिवेशन और यहाँ सारे लोगों का कॉपरेशन। थैंक यू
Sir,
मैम।
mic please to this side. Yeah. Actually, I request everyone to be little short so that we can hear more. Okay? Yeah. We'll give you chance
जोहार
to
मैम।
everyone.
जोहार मैम, आप सभी को जोहार। सबसे पहले तो मैं CIT टीम ऑन कोऑर्डिनेटर और यहाँ की जो टीम है धन्यवाद देना चाहता हूँ, क्योंकि इतने अच्छा अनुभव जो यहाँ मुझे इन 5 दिनों में मिला, बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद मैडम। यहाँ 2 तरह से मेरे नजरिया बदला। एक तो टेक्नोलॉजी, हालांकि टेक्नोलॉजी पहले से जान रहे थे मैं, लेकिन टेक्नोलॉजी का एजुकेशन में यूज किन किन क्षेत्रों में कहाँ पे हम लोग बेहतर तरीके से कर सकते हैं, वो नजरिया बदला। दूसरा, इसके साथ जैसे NAP हो या फिर इंक्लूसिव एजुकेशन, इस तरह की जो बातें हैं जो आपके थ्रू से जो हमारे प्रेजेंटर आए, इतने अच्छे बताए ना। मैं अपना खुद का अनुभव कर रहा था, जब मैं सुन रहा था, मेरे घर में मेरे छोटे बच्चे हैं, तो वहां से मैंने शुरू किया और वहां से चल के थॉमस एल्वा एडिशन तक ऐसा लगा कि मैं क्लास में नहीं बैठा हूं, कभी भी बोर नहीं हुआ। मतलब हर तरह से इतने अच्छा पर्सपेक्टिव मिला, इतना अच्छा मेरा देखने का व्यू जो डेवलप हुआ, इसके लिए मैं धन्यवाद मैडम। दूसरा और एक चीज, मैं सभी साथियों का धन्यवाद अदा करता हूं, क्योंकि मुझे यहाँ आके बहुत न्यू और एनर्जेटिक फ्रेंड्स मिले। धन्यवाद आप सभी को।
Thank you, sir. There, sir. Sir will come back to you. There are 2 more hands before you.
गुड मॉर्निंग एवरीवन। सभी लोगों ने CIT टीम का धन्यवाद कर दिया है, तो ज़्यादा नहीं कहूँगा। यहाँ जब भी हम टेक्नोलॉजी से इंटरेक्ट होते हैं, हम नया फ़ोन भी लेते हैं तो भी सेल्फ फेयर होता है, कौन सी एप्लीकेशन चलाए कौन सी नहीं चलाए। तो यहाँ आकर के वो काफ़ी हद तक मेरा ये इतनी बड़ी ट्रेनिंग का पहला एक्सपीरियंस है और इट इज़ वेरी गुड। मैं थोड़ा सा बताना चाहूँगा, जो कल यहाँ सेशन था साइबर सेफ्टी एंड सिक्योरिटी, अभी नवंबर मंथ में SCRT में आई वॉज कोऑर्डिनेटिंग वन प्रोग्राम आउट देयर एंड आई वाज द कोऑर्डिनेटर। तो वहाँ पर भी ये एक सेशन था, तो उसमें जो हमारे RP थे वहाँ पर 43 मेंबर्स बैठे हुए थे हमारे पार्टिसिपेंट्स। तो वहाँ एक क्वेश्चन आया कि सर ये जो हैकर्स होते हैं ये हमारे पासवर्ड को कैसे हैक कर लेते हैं। तो उन्होंने कहा वेरी सिंपल, आप मुझे 5 मिनट दीजिए और आप अपनी 3 इंफॉर्मेशन मुझे शेयर करिए, अपना नेम, डेट ऑफ बर्थ एंड योर व्हीकल नंबर। तो उन्होंने 5 मिनट में सभी लोगों का पासवर्ड बताया और जिसमें 31 जो लोग थे उनका बिल्कुल एग्जैक्ट निकला विद इन 5 मिनट्स। कि कहने का मतलब है, जैसे मैम ने कल कहा कि हम बहुत ज्यादा शेयरिंग होगी, हम गाड़ी ले रहे हैं, ठीक है आप ऊपर को ले लीजिए, आपने फॉर्च्यूनर ले ली, वट एवर ले ली, लेकिन हम उसकी नंबर प्लेट भी शेयर कर जाते हैं। तो ये चीजें हमारे लिए, जिस तरह मैम ने कहा, एक हमने नोट की थी चीज कि सेलिब्रेट इन अक्टूबर, जो हम एक इंटरनेट सेफ्टी मंथ, इस तरह के अवेयरनेस प्रोग्राम जो है हम अपने स्टेट में SCRT डाइट के माध्यम से इस तरह प्रोग्राम ऑर्गेनाइज करें, ताकि एक सोसाइटी में अवेयरनेस हो कि इस तरह के जो भी इंसिडेंट्स लोगों के साथ हो रहे। आपके साथ कितने लोगों ने शेयर किया, मेरे साथ हुआ, मेरे साथ हुआ, मेरे साथ हुआ। तो ये एक नई चीज है सोसाइटी में अवेयरनेस लाने के लिए. थैंक यू मैम फॉर कोऑर्डिनेटिंग सच ए ब्यूटीफुल प्रोग्राम, वेल डिजाइंड, एंड आई रियली अप्रिशिएट यू. थैंक यू सो मच
Thank you
ऑन
so
द बिहाफ ऑफ SCRT हिमाचल प्रदेश.
थैंक यू मैम. सभी को मेरा नमस्कार, जय बिहार. ज़्यादा कुछ नहीं कहना चाहूँगी, क्योंकि मैं रिसेंटली अभी SCRT से जुड़ी हूँ. मैं अभी डायट लेक्चरर हूँ और 6 महीना पहले मेरा डिप्यूटेशन हुआ है. तो यहाँ पे मुझे सबसे अच्छा लगा जो टाइम मैनेजमेंट है, क्योंकि कोई भी काम हम बोल देते हैं हो जाएगा, बट मुझे परफेक्शन बहुत मायने रखता है मेरे लिए. अगर वो काम में परफेक्शन नहीं दिखेगा ना, तो वो काम आप कितना भी मुझे बोल दीजिएगा कि हो जाएगा, वो मैं नहीं सेटिस्फाई होती हूँ. तो वो परफेक्शन मुझे टाइम मैनेजमेंट के अकॉर्डिंग दिखा कि अगर हम टाइम को पकड़ते हैं और टाइम पे सारी चीज़ें करते हैं, और स्पेशली जब हम लोगों का ग्रुप डिस्ट्रीब्यूट हुआ और सडनली सारे लोग एक जगह जब टी के लिए पहुंचे, और मैंने उस समय पहले तो टाइम देखा, तो मैंने बोला भी कि वाह मैम ने, मतलब ये मैनेजमेंट नहीं था कि हम क्लासरूम में आओ और फिर टी ब्रेक के लिए जाएं. हमने वो प्लेस डिसाइड कर लिया कि कहाँ पे सारे लोग रीच हो सकते हैं. और आपका जो लीडरशिप है मैम, आपके साथ जो लोग काम कर रहे हैं उनसे भी बहुत सारी चीज़ें सीखने के लिए मिली, जो मैं SCRT में भी जाकर के इम्प्लीमेंट कर सकती हूँ. तो ये सब अनुभव मेरे लिए बहुत ही प्रेरणादायी है, और आई विश कि आगे कुछ भी अगर होगा तो आपसे मुझे जो भी हो गाइडलाइंस मिले. थैंक यू मैम.
Thank you, ma'am.
गुड मॉर्निंग. भूपाल नेगी उत्तराखंड से. प्रोग्राम के बारे में सबने बता दिया जो हमारा ट्रेनिंग था. मुझे कुछ चीजें मैंने सीखी हैं, ऑब्जर्व की हैं स्पीच. मुझे लगता है कि ग्लोबली इंडिया का जो दुनिया भारत को देख रही है, तो कुछ चीजों के लिए हमें अपना नहीं माना जाता है ना. इंडियंस को या जो सिविलाइज्ड सोसाइटीज हैं जो वो है, तो हमको कुछ चीजों के लिए हमें ठीक जैसे नहीं देखते हैं. उसमें से स्वच्छता एक है. तो यहाँ पर सफाई मैम ने के उसमें बहुत बढ़िया है, ये हमने सीखा है. स्वच्छता ये हमारा जिम्मेदारी बनती है. दूसरा टाइम का रिस्पेक्ट करना. ये ग्लोबली जो सभ्य लोग हैं बहुत फॉलो करते हैं, बहुत हर्ट होता है लोगों को अदरवाइज ना, हमको मैटर नहीं करता. ये हमने सीखा है टाइम मैनेजमेंट. एक चीज मुझे बहुत ज्यादा जो मैंने सीखा है, जब भी हम लाइन लगती है कहीं पर भी, वो कहीं पर भी लाइन लगती है हमारी, बहुत टाइम लाइन लगती है. जैसे चाय की लाइन लगती है, खाने की लगती है, कहीं भी इलेक्शन ड्यूटी लगती है, रेलवे प्लेटफॉर्म लगती है, कहीं पर लाइन लगती है. प्लीज हम क्या करते हैं, दो बंदे लाइन में खड़े हैं, हम उसको बाईपास करके उसको पुश करते हुए, हाथ से बॉडी टच करते हुए जाते हैं. ये बहुत ही ग्लोबली ये अच्छा नहीं माना जाएगा कहीं भी. ये बहुत हर्ट करता है लोगों को. तो सबसे जैसे ऐसा नहीं है कि 2 मिनट 3 मिनट या तो इनफ है ना, तो या तो खत्म हो जाएगा, ऐसा तो है नहीं. ये टेंडेंसी पता नहीं कहाँ से इंडियन हमारे अंदर आई. हो सकता है कि हम जंगलों में थे, भोजन कम होता होगा, तो जीने के लिए, सर्वाइव के लिए लड़ना पड़ता था ना. आज तो ऐसा नहीं है. नहीं तो वैसे भी हमारे देश को ग्लोबल प्लेटफॉर्म पर एक अच्छा दिखाने के लिए हमें ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हमें कोई जेल जाना पड़ेगा, स्वतंत्रता आंदोलन करना पड़ेगा, फांसी की सजा लेनी पड़ेगी. छोटी छोटी चीजें जो हम कर सकते हैं, उसमें से एक जो मुझे बहुत यहाँ पर आप लोग मुझसे शेयर करना है, जिससे हम मिलते हैं, अपने स्टूडेंट लोगों को सिखाएं कि प्लीज लाइन में कभी किसी को बाईपास न करें. इवन लेडीज जेंट्स बॉडी को टच करते हुए, बीच से हाथ डालते हुए बिस्किट निकालते, ये बिल्कुल भी ठीक नहीं बना, ग्लोबली अच्छा नहीं बनाएगा. इसको आप करें, इसको बहुत सारे लोगों को बताएं भी, ताकि हमारा जो सिविलाइज्ड हमारा जो इमेज है ग्लोबली वो अच्छा हो. और भी बहुत सारी चीजें हैं, फिर शेयर करेंगे.
Thank you, sir. Sir, please.
हेलो, थैंक यू मैम. मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा, मैंने इसका प्रैक्टिस भी किया है, और सबसे ज़्यादा ये है टेक्नोलॉजी के इस्तेमाल के बारे में हल्का फुल्का मुझे जानकारी था, मैंने कभी इस्तेमाल नहीं किया. और एक जो ऐसे हम लोग बनाने के प्रयास करते हैं, डिजिटल कंटेंट बनाते भी हैं, और यहाँ पे जो हमको सबसे अच्छा लगा ये LMS लगा हमको. और एक नया चीज़ हमको सीखने के लिए मिला, वो एनिमेशन क्रिएशन, स्क्रिप्ट राइटिंग, ये सब के बारे में तो थोड़ी बहुत जानकारी थी, क्योंकि मेरे छोटे भाई हैं निरंजन कुजूर, वो लगभग इंटरनेशनल लेवल पे पुरस्कार ले चुके हैं फिल्म मेकिंग में. तो उनसे बस बातचीत होती थी, लेकिन ये नहीं लगता था कि हम कैसे इसका इस्तेमाल करें. हम ऐसे इस्तेमाल करते थे, लेकिन यहाँ ऐसा लगा कि नहीं, इस चीज़ का हम इस्तेमाल जो है ये अपने एजुकेशन में भी हम इस्तेमाल कर सकते हैं. ऐसे में नया चीज़ जो हमको जो लगा, ये सबसे एनिमेशन क्रिएशन की कैसे हम एनिमेशन बना सकते हैं, ये मुझे बिल्कुल नया और बहुत ही अच्छा लगा. और इसी तरह से अवार्ड में भी लगता है कि हम अपने आप को इसके लिए भी हम कर पाएंगे. धन्यवाद.
Last one we will take. After we'll give you again option for the afternoon. We will hear from everyone. Okay?
नमस्कार सभी को. मैम अभी लास्ट टाइम मैं शिरीष सर की वर्कशॉप में अभी आई थी दिसंबर के अंदर ICT में, तो वहाँ पे मेरा अपना खुद का एक फीडबैक था कि 3 दिन बहुत कम होते हैं. तो NCERT वो मौका दे कि 5 दिन का एटलीस्ट वो प्रोग्राम हो. एंड आई एम फॉर्चुनेट इनफ कि वो जल्दी ही पूरा हो गया. मैं एसआरजी की भी पार्ट रही हूँ और एसआरजी का मैंने इम्प्लीमेंटेशन अपने डीएलएड के बच्चों के साथ किया। जो कुछ हम ऑनलाइन एसआरजी ट्रेनिंग में सीखते थे उसको हमने वर्कशॉप के मोड में अपने डीएलएड बच्चों तक लेके गए जिन्होंने स्कूल में उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया। एक चीज हमेशा मुझे शिकायत रहती थी एसआरजी वाले ऑनलाइन ट्रेनिंग के अंदर कि जैसे स्टॉप मोशन पिक्चर है या इस तरीके के टूल्स हैं, इसको हम कोलैबोरेटिव वे के अंदर वर्क ऑन नहीं कर पाते थे क्योंकि वहां पे हमारे पास टाइम भी कम होता था और उतना अच्छा सा फीडबैक नहीं आ पाता था। बट यहाँ पे हमने जो 21st सेंचुरी स्किल्स की हम बात कर रहे हैं जिसके एनईपी भी बात कर रहा है, तो कोलैबोरेशन के साथ, कोऑपरेशन के साथ, क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग के साथ में वो मौका मिला यहाँ पे हैंड्स ऑन करने का। So I heartfully thank you CIT for giving this opportunity to all of us. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Actually, हम continue कर देंगे reflection again in the afternoon also. So now we are going to move. So this is a particular session for technical session of the last day. हम सबको पता है AI का ऊपर ज़्यादा बात कर रहे हैं, but at least हम सबको कॉमन अंडरस्टैंडिंग नेशनल लेवल में AI का ऊपर कैसा बात हो रहा है, क्या हो रहा है, पता होना चाहिए. So हमारा साथ डॉक्टर राजेश है. He is an associate professor in CIT and he is the in charge for the AI cell of NCERT also. So हम इधर से कितना भी AI का ऊपर काम चल रहे हैं वो कोऑर्डिनेट कर रहे हैं NCERT का on behalf of NCERT. So on behalf of all the participants, I welcome him for this session on empowering education through artificial intelligence, and I give the session to him.
No, very good morning. Good morning, sir. I hope you are from different states and this year after I think after 15-20 years the winter has changed in Delhi. I think you have brought the air, chill air from your states. It has now touched around 0.6, 0.8 with the average. So Delhi is shivering because of you. So it looks happy to see all the cheering faces. So welcome to CIT. So today we are not talking to each other. Humans are not talking with another human being. Right from the bed, we had coffee coming out of the bedroom. Yeah, the wife comes and gives you the cup of coffee, or reversibly, some husbands give coffee also because equally balanced. Right? So we used to at least smile at each other. चेहरा देख के no problem. अच्छा इंग्लिश भी okay, no issues. Bilingually होगा because I cannot make those critical comments into English because when we say something with bonding, that will not come in every language. So okay, so we are not Hindi English कितने लोगों को ठीक है? सबको तो है except 1 or 2 3. Okay, then I'll do it. When I go for the technical concept, I'll do it in 2. Wherever it is reasonably required, we will do that. Be very practically that we should start understanding the ecosystem post COVID. That is my objective of telling you all the stories. Because मैं शुरू में आ गया, स्कूल नहीं है, कॉलेज नहीं है, ये मेरा स्लाइड है, ये AI क्या लिखा है, AI in education है, ये क्या होता है, what is the definition of AI, what are the different types of AI, what to do in AI. If I talk like this, within 10 minutes, we will start snoring, and that tradition has gone away from our hands. Even in your classrooms, even in your teaching methodologies, if you are not going to be live, you are not going to be real time, nobody is going to be impressed. So, our maximum understanding capacity has come to the second of 17. We look at each other. By the look itself, we can find out what image you are having about me in your mind, or what you are thinking. So these patterns are studied by the learners today. Because keeping 8 matrices of your face defines you what you are. But today, we need not worry about all those things. One simple thing will make me to understand where you are today. Can you tell me where can I identify it? Using that tool or application, I can find out what is your mentality. What tool? Anybody? You wake up from the bed and you see that only. मोबाइल ही है, मोबाइल से कुछ नहीं है. मोबाइल के अंदर कौन सा एप्लीकेशन है? आपका स्टेटस पता है. वी लाइक टू एक्सप्रेस अवर स्टेटस. वो स्टेटस पता होने के बाद ही में क्या हो गया? What happened to you? Are you sad? Are you happy? Are you in a generic mood? Are you in a romantic mood? Even your child asks you, क्या हो गया मम्मा आज? अचानक you started putting your status. What happened to you? The technology is grabbing you. Even for bringing all 4 or 5 in your family to the dining table takes time. You have to send messages in the WhatsApp. Dinner ready, come. फिर somebody used to put a question mark. हॉल में, बेडरूम में, किचन में, कहाँ पे आना है? Plenty number of things are happening. My objective is to make you to alert where the technology is driving you. You are not driving the technology. Technologies are driving you. And how many of you think AI is driving you? If you say yes, then you are not in the right track. There is no AI. It is only the coding, and it is only the system that we are using. Even though we all know that your browsers like Chrome, Microsoft Edge, and all these browsers, Bravo, recently which came, Planet 2, there are n number. These browsers read your mind, store your mind. Even being a computer science professional, I also know that browser is stealing my data. I don't have any options. But what I do is that every 2 days I used to clear my cache memory, cookies, so that there is no continuous tracking there. That is the only policy that we can do. Otherwise, you cannot escape from any of the things. We have to remove our cache memory. But if you want to remove your cache memory, you should remember your passwords. Because as we cross 40, 45 post COVID, sometimes we forget the road also, which goes towards our house. गलती से अगला वाला गली से पहला वाला गली में घुस जाता है. So we need to understand the ecosystem, and the key important that we need to understand is that the cyber security ethics. IT policy, what IT policy is telling us, we need to understand. We read newspapers. Earlier, we used to go to the tea shop to read newspapers, or to the library to read newspapers, where the healthy news was projected. Today, we get everything within a eyelid opening and closing. Fast food. Keeping the vision that fast food is not good for health, we are preferring to eat only fast food. Similarly, we know internet is very bad. Internet also provides bad things, but still we are dependent on internet. So keeping all those parameters, we have to think about NEP 2020. What is NEP 2020 wants us to protect? What NEP 20 gives us the protection layer? It talks about disastrous technology in the chapter 23 and 24. There is a word. What do you mean by disastrous? Disastrous means we are not going to talk about natural calamities. We are talking about the technologies that are eating our brain. Once you start using ChatGPT, your mind stops working because we get free. We think all the answers given by ChatGPT is right. We don't have time to verify and validate. We simply copy because somebody is helping us. Similarly, human manpower also, if I become a principal or vice principal, I used to selectively give work to some of the teacher. The teacher responds very fastly, then I'll give him the second one. Again, third. As soon as he said, yes, I have completed this task, and you feel the work is very excellent, you immediately give him a smile. तुम तो अच्छा कर रहे हो, you're doing wonderful job. Can you do this for me also? You keep on bombarding until or otherwise he gets stressed and says, चलो यार इनसे काम ही नहीं करना. या तो मन में इतना they used to have more what you call stress and then stress out one day. It becomes a fight and then it goes in a different venture. Similarly, we are doing the same thing with ChatGPT and technologies. We are becoming vulnerable. But we used to read newspapers recently where we always predict ourselves whether the news is correct or not. Even though the letter is signed by some of the authorities, we also take recently Delhi government also you would have read in the newspaper where they said that the stray dogs should be taken care by the teachers. We also were worried. But when we went down, when media went and everybody went, the state government said that ऐसा कुछ भी नहीं हुआ. They have not done anything because they do have a value and respect for the teachers. So how much social media also carries us. Because when you talk about AI is not one pen pictures. Doesn't belong to science teacher. AI doesn't belong to social science teacher. AI doesn't belong to literature or arts humanities teacher. AI is the whole world. So that is why we are also writing textbook in the name of AI, which is always called as AI for all. AI is a common pool. Anybody can use AI to become a gene. But AI will not become as a gene, only the person who uses AI will become a gene. That you have to understand. So keeping all these parameters and slowly jumping into the ecosystem of education, because since we are all from different domains of NCERTs and diets, and being a subordinate leader of the country, because when you take first prime source comes as a student, and then you have immediate teachers, then vice principal, then diet faculties. Apart from diet faculties, then SCRTs come into the act, SITs come into the act. After these people, then it comes to the role of RAEs. RAE के बाद आता है NCERT. We are all in the same thing, and we should always say that we are all in the same community. Something happens to a state teacher, it also hurts us also. You can ask me how does this reflect to NCERT? When you enter into CIT, you would have seen blue boards here and there. Rashtriya Vidya Samiksha Kendra. So what is it? What does it talk about? If you ask a layman, he would have been telling you that it is a data center which collects all the data from the teachers and students. Do you think for that the country is spending more money? No. PM office wants updated information. What is the deficiency in every state? Because jumping into the shoe of a state is so hard. Because it's my state, it's my own language, it's my own culture. Because we are evolving in this own language. What I'm talking about. So in that case, we are taking more stress to pull out a few aggregated data from the states to understand where the teacher stands today. There is a state of Tamil Nadu where when we drill down using this VHK, we thought we really sensitized looking into the state that a teacher being officially a posted teacher in Tamil Nadu, anybody from Tamil Nadu? No. They are using 22 mobile apps 22 mobile apps with geo-located, geo-tagged, which has to be updated by him between the time of 8:30 to 11:30. If he is not updating it, immediately a call or a prompt will go to the vice principal, and then again it will go to the principal. Unless or otherwise, if he is on leave, he will be targeted. You need a strain. Then we also studied other states also. Every state's data is with me. I have gone to many of your states. We are also working with the states. You can ask me what is the relativity with this AI? Using AI only we are working. We are taking decisions using AI, but we are not letting the AI to take decision. It's just like playing with a coconut or playing with a dice. Because when you play with a coconut, it is always typical. I don't know how many of you seen a dog playing with a coconut. Every time the coconut, when you take it in the hand, it will look the same for you. But when you rotate it, the angle, shape, its dimension, its parameter changes. Similarly, we are playing with the data. We bring out some of the insights using AI, then we send it to the state, and states also occupy it. So, what is the positive of this? We could study the dropout rates of students. In few states, we find private schools are closed down because the number and the strength is coming down. So they are shifting into the government schools where they find government schools better than the private schools. In maximum number of states, government schools are getting their reduction in the number of students registry. The reason is the infrastructure. Now we have written to the PM office also. Now they have also said that we are working on to that the local vendor of the particular school area. There are a number of vendors like EY, Delight, PMO, Convenience. There are plenty number of vendors who say that they are the good in the corporate sector, IT sector. We are calling them. We want to give a one digital device. It may be a tablet, it may be a laptop, it may be a computer. To one school compulsory. Even that school will be considered as a primary school or a Balvatika also through CSR fund. Whether the government will not give any fund for it, but it will be handed over to the principal or any teacher who is voluntarily. So that at least right from Balvatika onwards, because what happens is that today since both husband and wife are working, both want to have a peace. What they do, they give the mobile phone to the child. उनका मुंह बंद करने के लिए एक ही तरीका है. If a child cries, how do you shut down it? Immediately give the mobile. You want to continue watch the cartoon? The child is also happy. They are also happy. Being a teacher, how does the pedagogy work for that particular child? Because child is learning your rhymes in the cartoon. When they come back to the Balvatika, the teacher, physical teacher also sings the same rhymes. What is the difference? The difference is the slang. Difference is the culture. When the teacher sings, she sings with love. The culture and the parameter also comes along with the teacher. But when it is learned through the digital portfolio, American accent, UK accent, it is then converted into a machine learning, and the machine learning automatically converts into the regional language. There is also always a difference of learning from a physical teacher and the systematic, which I'm also saying that AI tutor should not be allowed. If it is allowed, it should be used only as a absentee teacher. In one of the state, they inaugurated one robot teacher, saying that because today we only prefer ladies to be robots. Ladies are given priority for that also, right? So lady teacher has been created as a robot, and all the class 1 to 12 syllabus is being trained into the system for 1 year. So what is happening when some teacher goes on leave? That robot is fixed with a timetable. You go to this classroom. The school is also very much happy. Every child is very happy in that particular class. I said, okay, you will be happy for a day. Even the child will be happy for a day. What will happen if a child wants to go for a natural class? Will the robot respond to the child? Or if the child falls of fainting or giddiness, will the robot respond to it? There cannot be any real teacher there, right? So we have plenty number of pros and cons. Then I wrote them a subject saying that even though you have a female robot there, please have one IMI inside the classroom. One assist teacher should be there with the robot so that it understands the real mentality and culture of the particular learning ethics, right? So that was my point, and the reason why we are talking about AI today is this: like when we had the studies done by UNESCO, UNICEF, SEMCA, Intel, Google, we came to this conclusion that 90% people are using. When you say educators, it's not only teachers or teacher trainers, it also points out to your student learners. There is a big comparison, my dear friends, you would have seen it. In North, even after completing 10th class, some children start tuition centers. Some students start teaching via YouTube. Our sons and daughters are also studying. When we ask them what is this, they say that मुझे ये अच्छा लगा. I feel so happy. I'm very convenient because he cracks jokes. He cracks some masalas into right with the matching with the same age, so they prefer it. So how vulnerable it is, because the boy who completes class 10 or 12 or even undergraduate is not so mature. He is also in the preparation of cooking. His brain, his LLMs are under training. They are also not mature. So in that case, how do you take the learners? So there are plenty number of parameters that we need to understand. So when you see this graphical representation, 90% of people are using AI, whether guided by somebody or unguided by somebody. Guided will be very limited because most of us are not sharing or sparing any time with our own family. That is one point. When you see how many countries are focusing with AI policies, even in India, our own country is still bringing AI policies. Maybe this year we will be releasing it. AI policies, depending upon the age, what AI tool should be used by the child, and what could be guided by the teacher. So we are working on to it. Maybe this month or next month or within this year we will be bringing out. Because whereas the countries like Malaysia, Singapore, and even China, you have Finland, and you have other countries who have really dominated in the ecosystem of AI. Because when we are a teacher, we need to understand what is really happening all around our country also. It's not only within the city, within the state. So keeping that, the global value of amount is also being invested. You see how much billions they are using for the development of this particular AI. So I started speaking about disasters technology. Whenever a disasters technology comes to the ecosystem, we have to understand these ecosystems. But what are the disasters technologies currently available? Can anyone tell me? AI too, I have listed out AI. Apart from AI, what are the other disruptive technologies as of currently? Okay, very nice. Deepfake, good. Anyone? Huh? Yeah, 3D printing. What is the other name? You have got the point, but Meta AI. I'm not touching. Okay, Meta AI. Okay. Okay, these are all the brand names that you're talking about. I'm asking about disasters technologies. Technology की बात कर. कार में जैसे गाड़ी में लिमिट जब ज़्यादा होता है बीत देता है. Yes, but not related to our content. Augmented reality and virtual reality is the second disruptive technology that we should know. The thing which is not visible to us, but using some of the devices we can visible it. You would have seen it in the experiential lab when you have gone there. Just from our country. Yeah, it's all Noida-based companies are there. So that is the second one but we cannot stop using them. AR VR is required for start learning it. Number one. Number two, you are a class teacher. You find continuous number of holidays coming into your sessions. You feel the syllabus has to be completed. So what can you do? You cannot call all of them because if you call up all of them, then you have to get the consent signed from the parent, or your principal has to push through the data. Then what we do? We have to use online classes. Online maybe few people doesn't come. So what to do? Then you can use the OLAPs, which is part of artificial augmented reality and virtual reality. You select some of the exercises which is related to your classroom. You copy the link, put it in your Google Classroom or in your WhatsApp group. Ask the children to do the practical where there is no physical, at least virtual. You can ask them to connect. When they come back, you do it really. Their understanding will be 1000%. So this is second disruptive technologies which we need to focus upon. The third, you need to understand the importance of cybersecurity. Every child gets a Aadhaar ID today. Every child gets a Aadhaar ID today. How is the Aadhaar ID generated for a school child? UDIs and Aadhaar. So what is the requirement for an Aadhaar? We call it as MBU. MBU update compulsory है. And then you need an enrollment in your Aadhaar, and both will be verified with the UDI so that your APAR ID is generated. So what we are going to do with the APAR ID? Profiling है. Then education, academic credentials will be there, very nice. Digital identity. Apart from that, APAR ID is interrelated with others. When you put your APAR ID, if you are a disabled child, your parent need not run to pillar to pillar. Your scholarship, if you are eligible for scholarship, your scholarship amount will be credited in your account. Your bank details, because every layer of life makes us to run. Balvatika to school education, primary, from primary to again your secondary, and then to your senior secondary, and then to your higher education. It goes in a flow. So the children has to run. So this APAR ID is a wonderful AI based tool which you are converting it into, which is already done in the higher education. As far as our own country is concerned, we have 57% of school data. So any disastrous technology should be studied with these parameters. Number one, called as the market growth, adoption level, how many teachers are using it, and learning gains kitna hai, and challenges kya hai. And I would like to tell you also, APAR IDs will be made mandatory for all the teachers also. We have now submitted the proposal. So this is what you have to understand. So you see, in the ecosystem of learning, whom to be trained first? The teacher should be trained, or the student to be trained? How many teachers are ready to get trained? If you want me to open the black box, we find only the same teacher coming for all training. So what happens? He becomes the gold member of NCERT. The another thing is that we have two keywords given for AI. What are those? एक इंसान, एक ह्यूमन बीइंग को फूड नहीं देंगे, ऑक्सीजन नहीं देंगे, उसका मतलब वो जिएगा नहीं. I want to kill a person, I won't give a food, I will not even give the oxygen. Similarly, I want to make this AI die. What will I stop? Data. Very nice. एकदम सिक्सर. और एक तो he has said very nicely. Data is to be stopped. Yes, I accept it. What is the second one?
Language learning model. Feedback.
Networking shall be
पहले
नेटवर्क ही है, उसका अलग नाम है इंटरनेट. Network means only small, है ना? Internet, interconnected network of networks becomes as the internet. So without internet and without data sharing, there is no AI. So that we need to understand. So we should be very sensitized in using our data. That's what I request when you come to the lecture hall, switch off your mobile phones. Or put your mobile phone in the flight mode. One beautiful thing I learned from the minister himself. What he said, you need not put your mobile phone, switch it off when you go for any meeting, because I get plenty number of calls. I used to cut the phone call, I used to immediately give a response. In meeting, we'll call you back. But the ring doesn't stop. Then when he said, you can do one thing, you put it in a flight mode. Where the person, whoever calls you, will assume that you are somewhere, but you are not able to take the phone call. But never ever switch off your mobile phone. It gives a negative impact about you. I said, okay, sir, I'll follow. I'm following it. Now also it is in flight mode. The reason, because we have to learn plenty things, right? So we'll come back to the concept. What AI focuses on, we have already spoken about post-COVID system and what is there in your techno-pedagogy. So what is the difference between digital pedagogy or technical pedagogy and the normal pedagogy? Even though people are writing textbooks on digital pedagogy today, what is pedagogy first of all? Methodology, how to teach. Is there any holy book written that this has to be followed? Is there any holy book to be required to create what is digital pedagogy? If you say yes, then you are out of the context. Because teaching is an art. We can only practice dancing. We cannot teach dancing. If somebody says, I am teaching dancing, then we will say that you are a wrong person. Even in the church, fathers preach, they never teach. Preaching means invocation, sparking someone with the ethical ways. Similarly, here NEP talks about technological pedagogy, where again it says that you use this technology, but don't say that this technology has made me into the trouble. Because we have the habit, no? Even the child, when he comes crying, when a mother asks what happened, mosquito has bitten me. He is putting a blame. But he will not say that in which environment he was sitting, why the mosquito has bitten. Blaming should not be there. So that is the biggest cause. And but when you talk about methodology, it has to be different. If you have different sense, because everybody is different, right? When you talk about the ecosystem of AI today, I'm not teaching anything from the slide. It is the user centric, learner centric focus में ही हमें बात करना. We have to teach, we have to talk each other, we have to make others talk. If somebody is not opening the mouth, there are only two parameters in today's methodology. What are those? Either they must be busy in their mobile phone or they must be snoring. You see, whomsoever is not looking at me, I'll take only these two conclusions. Not only here, everywhere. So that is our digital, because we need to talk the real values. And AI talks about three parameters very frequently. In India, we focus only for these three in education ecosystem. One is personalized learning or personalization of adaptive learning, number one, which means we say to the child that if you are not confident with the content, instead of running behind teachers, you can see to that certain contents can be thoroughly checked upon by you using the second channel. For example, there is a difference between using Byju's, Physics Wala, and also some other counterparts. And even we have our own Diksha. How many of you are using Diksha? If you are not using, then you are doing something cost to your government of India. Please use it. Because Diksha is not NCRT's platform. Diksha is run by teachers like you only. Every state, the state teachers through the SCRTs and diets are running the Diksha. We are not doing anything. We have only created the template and design patterns. We used to verify it. So if you are doing it and if you are not sharing it with your own counter students, it's not wastage, my dear. It's a cost for the teacher. Every teacher's identity is going to become as a Diksha. Because every teacher is not rich to publish their own books. That is the point, right? And people are running to temples today. You know that post COVID, most men are running towards temple because people need patience. People need patience. People want somebody to listen to them. Why I'm talking about now, that is also becoming your personalization. Then coming to the point of scalability. If you write a small chapter, you collate with the other counterparts. I hope you had a session on OER. You would have learnt there what are the five five
licensing
5 R's. मूल मंत्र ही भूल गए आप लोग. OER talks about 5 R's, which helps us to open our mouth with the counterpart so that we all join together to bring up a book, an article, a journal that will be collectively published. So if you write as a single author, it means that you are deviating your idea. So my dear, you are critical. If you do that, the scalability will be very much high. The last is your multilingual. Whenever today in India, when we talk about AI, we need to convert all the textual digital materials into the 23 languages. And the use case which is given here is the Diksha. NCRT is Diksha. plus translation, because we have now refined Diksha in 20 number of ways. You need to take some time to discuss about it. Personalized adaptive learning, multilingual. When you talk about multilingual, we need to also look into the concept of inclusiveness. We should bring. We all talk, we all read newspapers, we all write papers also. But when a child from the CWSN category comes to our classroom, we get upset because we have to take personal care. We don't have time for it. So my request is that please concentrate on that particular part. And third, smart assessment and progress tracking. We are using AI today. Telangana is the first state in India which is using AI for evaluation. All the answer sheets are evaluated by a robot, or some codings are predicted. Even in Madhya Pradesh, they did Olympiad examination based on AI assessment. They say that it is the best way. But still, there are plenty number of case studies that has to be understood. When you ask a machine to talk, machine to evaluate, there will be always one human behavior behind. We could not predict what the human behavior. We can even predict what the AI machine wants to do, but we cannot predict what a man or what a woman is thinking in their mind. Bias is always there. How do you reduce bias? It needs 3 days conference for us to discuss. And that's why I said if you want us to discuss, it will take 3 days for us. Ample data. We still have single father, single mother. We have still options of living together. We also have love marriages, arranged marriages. We also have runaway marriages. If you take all these patterns of analysis, huge biasness will come out. Huge biasness. We also had pre-history, we had only one category called as mother, stepmother, father, stepfather. Only 4 parameters. Today we do not know what relation, what is, who is I. So when you collate all these things, the answer is bias. If one human being is having this much of bias, and if that person is going to do a code for doing something, whether it is positive or negative, what will be the visualization? That is the need. We need to think about bias, which is a big picture of our country, right? So again, what AI is getting integrated with NEP. If somebody asks you, you need to be presenting these keywords like digital pedagogy has come. As soon as digital pedagogy has come, we have our own wings. Because when we talk about pedagogy, immediately if you have done your BEd or MEd, we only talk about Bloom's taxonomy, or we talk about the person who created the generation of cell. Who is it? Darwin's theory. We used to talk about Darwin's theory alone. But since this technology came across, the teachers are having plenty number of feathers into their hat, saying that this content I will produce as per the requirement of my audience. So that privilege is given. That is what we call as digital pedagogy. The second is your AI literacy. You cannot run away of today. You can only even in your break, maybe some of the angels team will ask you whether you want tea or coffee. Other than that, there won't be any option. उसके अलावा आपको मिलेगा गर्म पानी उसके अलावा आपको कुछ नहीं मिलेगा. Similarly, when you talk about AI literacy, there is only 2 things that you have to keep in your mind. One is responsible way of using the technology. The second is ethical way of using the technology. Responsibility. I should own. When I open my mouth, if I present this PPT to you, I am responsible for it. If something is wrong, I have to put my leg saying that yes, boss, this is my PPT, I made a mistake. Today we need to accept it. But rather, today we are running to grab something. There was one example also. While I was crossing Ames once, I saw people standing in the lines, queues. I stopped and asked them why they are standing in the line. They said they are feeding it. Then one person came towards me and said that, can I also stand in the line? I said, why can't you stand? Why? I don't have any problem. He was standing in the line. And I saw people continuously joining him in the line. Then I went to the security guard and asked him, is there something going to be given from Ames outside? He said, no, we don't have any information. And finally, after 15 minutes, they came to know that Some group was standing and others joined him. They do not know why they were standing. This is the reality of our life today. Somebody does learn AI. We also want to learn AI, but we do not know what for we are learning AI. What is our use of AI in our life? Nobody knows. But everywhere we go, AI washroom, AI bedroom, AI food, खाने भी नहीं आया. I think AI has not touched your food.
Sir, it has.
It has.
Yeah.
Any example?
In Japan, there is a vending machine that serves ice cream, and on the basis of principle of AI, it is creating new kind of flavors.
Sir, I am talking about Indian context.
Okay.
Thank you for your information because ऐसा देखा जाएगा ना in China or in I think in Bangalore they have instructed it. You want to cut your hairs, put your head inside. Before that, select your style. It will crotch within 2 minutes. You need not even go for washing your head. It will wash it, blow air into your head, and then bring it out. It is in Bangalore. Earlier, we used to talk about Google Class. The spectacle that you use will guide you. If I look at him very sharply, immediately his name will come to me. He so and so is sitting here. And if I look at the railway station, it will this train is standing in this platform, and what coach is, which seat is available in which coach. That much of technology came in US, but it didn't get propagated. The reason is technology should not become as a sin to somebody else, right? So now they have winded out. Now India has taken up the project, and we are working onto it, and we are working in this different level, simulation of glasses. So we need to have only two things: responsible way of using the technology and ethical way of doing. Because since I said Vidya Samisha Kendra, I am collating the data to find out the insights. I do have the responsibility to follow the ethics of the states. If states say that this is my originality, I don't want to give it, we will say yes, you don't do it. That is my ethics. I should not write to Prime Minister saying that, sir, this state is not giving the data, kindly send a letter to him. Our stock is Samagra Shiksha Fund. This is not the because AI literacy should be focused upon. The third is NETF. How many of you don't know what is NETF? National Educational Technology Forum, which is headed by the chairperson of Anil Sahasrabudhe. What do? They have already set up. I hope somebody has a chit chat. If any chit chat is required, my dear friend, the door is always open. Go have your cup of coffee and then come back. Because we are all respecting each other. Being the teacher community, a teacher first of all has to respect the colleague. If you're not interested, my door is open. I will not send any punishment letter to your office. But एक ethics होना चाहिए. And nobody is forced to sit in this class. So what does this NETF group do is that in our country, since technology is growing, every company wants to promote their product into the education ecosystem. So they approach KVA separately, NVA separately, even your private school separately, somewhere in the SCRTs also. There is no collation. They come with a name saying that Dr. Arya CIT से हमें भेजा गया है. Then the principal or your director also looks into my profile saying that ये तो NCERT से भेजा. Yes, please come in. What is happening? Then they'll try to propagate their product. Without knowing who's who, your principal or director also gets stuck saying a yes. Then later their problem comes around back. It happens. So then what we do that don't approach anything. This NETF forum will call such type of vendors. They have 4 parameters of evaluation for the universal cost. First they do what is their product, whomsoever this product is reachable. The third is are they going to give free or paid version. If it is going to be a paid version, they will demand it with a cost. What is their source of funding? Because today, if something comes as a free hand or a freebie, we have to be very cautious. Even your friend gives a sweet box to you, It doesn't mean that he loves you. It means that he wants to take you later on. Because the culture has changed today. The first animal in this world that smiles to kill other animal is human being. It's a strong word written in January 2026. Because we are expecting aliens to reach us now. Plenty number of what do you call kundalis have been studied. Plenty number of prehistory also talks about the same thing. So we need to be aware, we need to sensitize. Then the fourth is that they evaluate their dissemination process. Are you going for a pilot study? Are you going to one state where the letter from the Secretary of the Ministry of School Education will go to that particular state saying that this company is good, you can do this as a pilot study, they will be giving everything free of cost for you. So this is the setup that has been done by NETF. Because why this is to be said to you is that if some corporate comes to you, please ask to follow the same ethics so that you are safe. Because many people post retirement are also charged with EDs and CBIs. Yeah, in their website it's NETF portal में ही उनका नाम आ जाएंगे. So what is the full form? National Educational Technology Forum. In their website itself, they are promoting that these products are being scrutinized and it can be taken by the states concerned. So we have to think or talk about AI with the reference. AI आज की कहाना नहीं है. It's not today's material to eat. It was long back. So I just nurtured some of the things like NEP 2020 started with the technological integration in 2020. In 2021 we started the frameworks for AI in education, and then we started doing the pilot study. And we are also working on evaluation patterns. Like some states have started using the AI for assessment. You know that how many states are using the mobile phones to take the attendance sheets? AI integrated. They don't want to mark anything. They just take the phone and then grab around. Within 5-7 minutes, the entire ecosystem of the classroom attendance is done, and it is also submitted to the school education department within 7 minutes with geotag inserted. So that is what the level of technology is there. Some states are coming up. If you come down, I'll show you the statistic data also. And this year, next month, India Impact AI, or AI Impact is being scheduled by the Ministry of Electronics in Delhi, Bharat Mandapam during the February, which will collate plenty number of policies related to the artificial intelligence. So we need to understand that. And Ministry of School Education is also planning for one of the 2-day workshop for the school teachers throughout the country, where we are targeting around 15 to 20 lakh teachers to be trained within 2 days. That program is in the pipeline. Since I am the in charge of AI cell, and this is my plan, and we are working with the ministry, and very shortly you will also be involved, because since the parameter and the education system is all together, I need to apprise you all. So we all frequently talk about these keywords. Most of the teachers don't understand or forget about the keyword e-content. What are the real terminologies that are closely related with the e-content development is all given there. When you talk about e-content, it involves your textual based data. It talks about your virtual content also, visual. When you talk virtual or visual, both talks about telegraphics. Because we convert those written documents into infographics. Earlier, we used to think about putting the numbers into tables, then converting those tables into graphical representation. We had graphs, by charts. So now we don't write any theoretical content also. We are using infographics. This is one of the example of infographics. I have not done anything. I have used one of the software called as napkin.ai. I have put the content into it. It has drawn plenty number of diagrams. This diagram was suitable for me. I have selected it. Even for doing that, there are two parameters that you have to keep in your mind. If you are interested, you can either take a screenshot of this particular image, because normally when you use any of your corporate tools, their name and logo will come inside. You don't find here. because I'm also purposely using it. So I don't want anybody to learn from me. But I vomited today, right? Because there are two types of knowledge. Napkin. Napkin.in. It is free only. Don't pay. जितना आप फ्री ले सकते उतना फ्री ले लीजिए. But don't pay for any tools. I recommend you not to pay single for any of your AI tools. आपको उसलिए for that you need only one thing to be done is that please create a Gmail account, new Gmail account, which you can use it only for your own learning. Don't use your personal email ID, personal mobile number, either for buying any of your tools or buying any of your web page models. So that will help you. Otherwise, once you put your personal email ID, the LLM of that particular company will start sucking your emails. जैसा the same example was Truecaller. Once you install Truecaller, the entire आपका कुंडली Truecaller के पास. The person who is calling your father, brother, would-be, lover, whatever thousands of relationships we have, everything is with Truecaller. Right? So we need to be very proactive. So AI-powered tools are also there, which talks about personalized adaptive learning. Personalized adaptive learning, you are frequently hearing it. Have anybody used personalized adaptive learning? Of course, सब लोग ने किया होगा. I hope most of you are in my ages are little bit some 5 or 6. We all have used personalized adaptive learning. 15 years back, I used to come to Delhi, IIT Delhi or IIT Madras, where when we go to this shopkeepers where these computer systems are all sold, you find CDs. CD IIT प्रोफेसर का ये फिजिक्स वाला है, वो केमिस्ट्री का CD है. If you play that particular CD, you will not be allowed to open other programs. You have to keep it. It is just like putting a pagadi to a horse. You will have to only listen to it. There is no other go. The same thing is now recoined into a personalized adaptive learning, because now children are diverted plenty number of ways. When they open up one particular website, they have n number of advertisements coming into, peeping into, so they get diverted. So in order to close down it, now AI is taking care of that particular window so that the child doesn't get deviated. Even if you want to get deviated, there is a word called as recommender system. जैसे आप Netflix देख रहे हो, you find a horror movie, after 10 days or 3 days, you find only horror movie list. Even when somebody comes, they ask you, both ka the family again. So similarly, and if one picture gets popularized, romantic movie popularized ho gaya, then you find n number of popular movies romantic being released. So similarly here we need to understand nothing is new. Only the words are coined. Data science is another word. You know what is data science? What is data science? Handling big data, or handling large volume of data, or handling unknown data sets. These are all called as data science. Do you think this is a new coin? This is a new word? No. We are studying mean, medium, mode, standard deviation for many years, which was called as statistics. In 1960, we studied the same content in the name of statistics, but today we want a new class. We say that we are studying data science. So that is the difference, because we need to understand only small ecosystems. We need to survive in this world. Being a teacher, you have 2 to 3 layers of cloths on you. One is Master G, the other is your teacher. Police वाला भी आपको पकड़ता है. When a traffic police caught you, you say you show your ID card, you are a teacher. Automatically he will not shout at you. Automatically he will not show his packet also to you. The reason is you have more respect. You are being respected by others. When you have been respected by many of others, it means the content that you spell, the word that comes from your mind, from your mouth, should be responsible and ethical. That is why we say even if you are angry, don't shout at a child. Even in your house also. Otherwise, both your wife and child will create a name for you. And it's also opposite. I come to that. The third is your multimedia content. Interactive. What is the difference between multimedia and interactive? multimedia, has both audio, video, and other parameters which could attract in learning the content. But interactive frequently interacts with us. Every stage of learning is through interactive. So that is the cause. When we use the word called as interactive, we talk about simulations. And the last is your collaborative tools. Right? There are LMS, Swayam MOOCs, NPTEL. There are plenty number of tools that are talking about. So what is required for a student as a AI? What is required for a teacher as a AI? So AI literacy is required for both teacher and student, but we focus on student because they are the future. And the second is that coding is required. When we say coding, because another biggest thing that we have to understand is that every human being has the same grams of brain. There is no differentiation. Even children with disability has the same quantity of brain. There is no differentiation. And also, your brain by default have the concept of logics. We also look into plenty number of movies. We also create some of the advertisement. Recently, you would have seen the Dettol advertisement also. ये क्या है? ये क्या करता है? The mother used to scold. Our mother used to not respond to the child. And finally, third or fourth time when he again asked the child, mother used to tell, ये साफ रखने के लिए कोशिश करते हैं. Dettol का advertisement होता है. So what is it? It is a logics. When somebody asks you why, what, when, how, where, it means that he is in the process of learning. It means that you are enabling his critical thinking. Critical thinking लिखने से आता नहीं है. And the questions that you prepare, the content that you prepare, by default, the child has to be able to understand all the hots. Whether the question paper is hot or the answer is very hot. So these parameters. Today we also work on no coding, low coding. That is also part. So data science, AI clubs are also started by the schools. What is the last one? Innovation and entrepreneurship. How many of you have visited Rashtrapati Bhavan? राष्ट्रपति भवन में म्यूजियम गया आप लोग? If you are not going to museum, please visit, but don't visit bachelor type. Bring your kids, bring your wife and husband, and then visit museum. It is the real impact of it. Your kids will be able to interact with the old presidents and prime ministers, where AI generated content, and their original voice is stimulated there. These are the things that we need to understand. When you do that, what happens is that the innovation of the child comes out. And there is also another one, Mahol, I don't know what name, you can search it and Google it out. As you enter the palace, school children innovation center is kept there. Even a rural village. Just like you would have seen the Three Idiot movies, or there are another plenty number of bulk number of movies that promote students' education from the rural background. So that is all done. So that invocation is required. But as a teacher, what should I do? As a teacher, you should always prepare your content. Because it is always expected that a teacher reads more. When a teacher reads, it doesn't mean that he reads only textbooks and newspapers. The teacher is able to read the entire 45 strength of the classroom. Which child behaves at what time, what expression. The teacher does it today. So we need to understand. So content creation, multilingual, a teacher is requested by the Prime Minister to learn minimum 5 different languages. This was asked in 2025 in one of the stages. I think during the Teachers' Day or somewhere he spoke about this. He said, in your 45 strength of the classroom, if 3 or 4 child is from the other state, try to attract them because it promotes IKs. It promotes the love towards the child, not towards the language. So that is there. Professional learning, and we also talk about analytics. Analytics is not done by individual to individual. It is done in a core, right? So this is somewhat what the 5 stages of learning is there, and what the spectrum of AI is done. So we have only 5 parts. One is that acceptance hona chahiye. I do request everybody to have only one parameter or attribute in your lifetime As we are running with plenty number of stressed modes, only thing is that don't react. If you start reacting, your mental stress will improve. You will run behind tablet shop. ठीक है, इससे अच्छा गाली कुछ नहीं होता ना. ये लास्ट 5 minutes, लास्ट 10 minutes होते ना, तभी हम सोचते हैं और कितना है बोलने के लिए. Because we are not in the school age, that's what I'll tell you. So first is that don't react, my dear. I yesterday also said to one of the college students that even if your face and head are differentiated by some of the fakes, don't think about going for suiciding attempt. Because there are 7 people in this universe of your same face, which is proven theory of our country. Even if your face and your body shape or something is changed by somebody, and even if you have done it, don't react. You start reacting, the entire ecosystem of your family, your career will also come down. So that's what. First accept and don't react. So first point is that you need to have the option of passive connection. What you want to learn. As you decide what you want to eat, you decide what you want to eat. You decide what clothes you want to put. You decide which style you want to live. You decide which flat you want to, 3 BHK, 2 BHK, or even the Rasta. It's all yours. Then, similarly, think what you want to learn today. It's your convenience. When you have decided, then start exploring. Third comes your analysis. Fourth, your application. And the last is your application means you start teaching it. You identify some students from your classroom. Some teachers, if you are from diets, you call some of the school teachers who are really motivated, who are really working with you, some of the clubs. You call them, mold them, give them some 500 also from your packet. You give 500, you will give 10,000 back. There are some plenty number of movies in the country. There was one movie from one counterpart saying that he used to buy teas for everybody. कहीं भी देखे सर आ जाओ एक चाय कर सबको पकड़ पकड़ के चाय पिलाता. And the conclusion of that movie is that when he was alone with some problem, जिसको भी उन्होंने चाय पिलाया वो सारे उनको वापस दे दिए. इसका मतलब नहीं है कल से सबको चाय पिलाओ. My dear friends, I say give it. When you give it to the CWSN first. Give it to the CWSN first. I request all the teachers in all the meetings wherever I go. I used to, because I also contribute. Because before saying I should do something, otherwise you cannot expect from others, right? Contribute to the CWSN. एक CWSN बच्चे को हाथ लेके you bring one child out of that campus as a graduated, as a school certificate child. It is equivalent to 1,000 President Gold medals. But we don't do it because we are already stressed. If you put but, the life will be only but. You have to find ways and means. So I'll jump. These are some of the tools available which we say that these are good for this particular core area. If you want to work with audio, you select these two, Murphy AI, Natural Reader. These are a few tools which can be used by you. Again, I am putting a disclaimer. This is only reference. It's up to the individual because everybody sitting here is a type of flower. You have different flavor. You have different selection choice. क्योंकि डिस्क्लेमर तो डालना पड़ता है ना क्योंकि कल आप tomorrow you go down use that you say that ये आपने बोला ये काम नहीं कर रहे हैं. Don't blame me. I'm putting a disclaimer here. But these are working for me very nicely because we have to only give you the idea. But as a teacher, what you have to do? As a teacher, what you have to do for AI? Using AI, you should use AI for content generation. You should use AI for content enhancement. You should use AI for converting the content into adaptive learning. You should also make the AI easy accessible. So I've given you the plenty number of suggestions also. So I have only 5 minutes as per the order issued. So we will quickly, my dear friends, I am requesting you only one thing. Don't use AI for lesson plan preparation. Lesson plan and pedagogy are the two shoulders of any teacher. Even the world comes down, it's your it's your property. Because most of them say, most of the AI companies say that I am helping the teacher because I am helping him to prepare the lesson plans. That's what I said here. When you are selecting all your primary activities, why to run behind some of the lesson plans? So mentoring and routine work can be done. Prototyping drafts quickly. Bridge rural and urban resource that should be there. And we need to also think about plenty number of formats, because when we generate one type of content, in my class I have 45 children. So how will I give this same content to the 45 children? Because all 45 are on different patterns. Collating them will not be easy. How to attract them using AI? As a teacher, what I will do is that I'll go first to convert that content into the languages that they know, that their parents could talk, that their parents are using those languages में वो tough content को convert करो, parents के हाथ में दे दो, बच्चे के हाथ में दे दो, let them understand, ask them what did you understand, then you give the English content to those children, you will get 1000% of the result. Because we also need to think about results also. Teachers are focused. So personalized learning experiences, one part which I have spoken about, efficient creative content creation, which you have talked about, OER and data-driven continuous process. So there are plenty others use cases in the AI, because we are all working as automatic machines for preparing administrative duties, right? कहीं से भी data लेके आओ, you have to start working on to it. So for that also, how to use AI, certain parameters are given here. But before I go, you have to understand these two. Align AI, use with educational goals, balance AI with critical thinking, teach AI ethics and responsible use, leverage AI for the personalized learning, and maintain human oversight. Nobody should dominate. And choose the right AI tools, encourage collaboration and exploration, provide ongoing professional development then and there, emphasize equity. And because when we spoke with one of the batches, they said, sir, I already crossed 50 hours of training as per CBSE mandate, but still I was sent for this training. I said, ma'am, don't think like this. God is enough with you so that you have been sponsored for this training and you are here. Right? It's not mandatory. Don't go by the holy book saying that 50 hours I am completed, I don't want to further continue. Learning is up to the depth. So that is what we have to understand as a teacher. Emphasize equity and accessibility and continuously reflect. So before I go with the others, this is what I want to touch. I'll take some last 5 minutes. When we talk about AI, we need to understand the different parameters of AI. There are only 3 different parameters of AI. One is the generative AI, which we talk about. We have a group of people. We need to ask a number of questions among the group alone, not outside the group. Then we call it as generative AI. Generative AI helps us to find different answers to different questions based on the group within alone, not outside the group. But I want to ask some other related answers along with the group also. Then I'll go for the second category, which you called as ChatGPT based. ChatGPT first checks your group for the answers. If nobody is not giving any relevant answer, then it will go to the Google, or it will go to the optimization from other servers. So it collates. But there are 2 things that you have to note. The output that is generated by ChatGPT is not verified, is not validated. You need to take your risk, right? The third is your agent AI. Agent AI means I can use both, but I have these 2 patterns inserted. Whatever answer comes as a possibility for the question raised or the prompt raised, the answer will come to the teacher. The teacher will say, yes, this answer is correct. It is verified and validated, then it goes to the system of children. So you need an agent AI. That is what we are working upon. So 3 different types of AIs are there, which are revolving in different names. Only the company name we are able to use, like ChatGPT, Lemma, Cloudy. These are all some of the names of the servers that we are using, LLMs that we are using. However, we can have our own AI LLM also. So these are the 3 levels of prompts that we as a user use. But what is best? This is what the golden rules. So how do, before you use a prompt, always ask these questions. Is the question being very specific? Give the context. Define the output format. In what way you want the output, you have to give it, and then refine it iteratively. The problem is that when you use AI and when you even ask the same question n number of times, you will get n number of different answers. For that, you need to understand first of all you are good in English or not. If you are not good in English, if you don't understand English, then you have to play. But there are certain new tools coming out of AI saying that it can be used in other languages. For example, OpenAI is also there in the multilingual languages, as they say, but nobody has verified. So until we start using it and refine it, then it is not possible. Always before you submit those collated answers to somebody, either your student or your principal or your director, please review it. What should be kept in the mind? Only RISE is the keyword that we need to keep whenever we are working in AI. One is your role. How do you create your prompt? How to ask question in a prompt? So first, your role should be there. Second, what instruction you are asking for. The third, what do you want? And the last is, how do we evaluate ourselves before we take the answer? That is what. The example is very given here. You are a grade 6 teacher or a science teacher. You are asking the instruction, create a 40-minute lesson plan on water cycle. This is your instruction. And third, you are giving your specificity like objectives, examples, activity, quiz, and homework. And what is your evaluation? I want the content to be generated based on the NCRT textbooks. So I have given that in the bracket. So these four is the whole mantra for using prompt, because today most of us are using AI only for question and answers, right? So these are some of the use cases I have given. You can see it later on, but the last slide from my end. The most important is given the first one, AI hallucination. What do you mean by hallucination? The issues, the problems, the views, the critics, because we are living in the social media world. We do not know who is going to write against us tomorrow morning. If you are not going to give one practical mark tomorrow one girl child will say that he was harassing me. He used to look at me in different patterns. When you keenly observe what is reality, the girl would have asked for 1 mark, he would have not given. It's also the reverse process also. Boys targeting the female teachers when she is alone in the classroom or in the staff room for not giving one single mark in the project. So they start using this bullying technology and they start hallucinating disinformation. They create vulnerables against each living teacher in this world. So we need to understand what is disinformation and what is misinformation. So digital divide has come down. Only few percentage is there. Earlier we used to talk about Andaman Nicobar. Today Andaman Nicobar is almost done. We are with good connectivity, and we always say that technology is a tool. It's not our main food. Not even a side food. I used to say that use the technology as a pickle, as we South Indians use pickle for eating. So use that. You should not be dependent. And teacher needs plenty number of training. Yes, I have taken it up. This year we will be going for plenty number of training. And curriculum is also on the way. CBSE has already given you the curriculum for 3 to 9 as a basic introduction. And for class 11 and 12, NCRT is doing it. Maybe for class 11, we will be releasing by this February or March. So 12th will be done during this September, right? So this is what the challenges are today. And next 15-20 years, you want to be in the same teaching profession, you have to have these ethics. You have to understand these ethics. How to adapt yourself with the dashboards, how to create dashboards, because the children are learning too much beyond your level. Because post-COVID, YouTubes have become as the master trainers in the world. Surgeries are run by YouTube channels. My dear, vulnerability arises there. We need to synthesize that. Real-time language translation is also required. AI tutor for homework is also done, and virtual science labs to be used by the teachers. And we always say to that, what is the recent act that was given for the Data Protection Act?
DPDP Act.
Very nice.
25 it is come to exist.
Very nice. Data Protection Act, right? What does it do? Any girl child, even a name is sensitive. Any girl child, any mobile number is sensitive. Any children in the country under 13, no data to be fetched or shared with anybody. Even the teachers and classroom teachers has to take care so that other than principal and the parent, no data should be shared. Earlier we used to use Instagram and the other Telegram process where the numbers are hidden. Only the names will be there. So we used to use those technologies. Now, as per IT Act 2025 and 23, Instagram usage is also not permitted for the children under 13. But however, my dear, I would like to inform you that you are also in the age of parents. See to that your children are not vulnerable, because today most of the children are using their parents' mobile phone. Even Google has said there is no Gmail account created by Google under 13. But in India, when you take the parameter, most of the parents don't know what is really happening behind it. Right? So, keeping all this vigilance, you need to take over for the last takeaway. Teacher assistant AI बनेगा और prompt engineering compulsory आपको सीखना है. तीसरा आपका है small scale में थोड़ा सा experimental आपको करना पड़ेगा. If you are not able to sit alone, make a group, join together. And the last is that if a teacher is losing the creativity, he is going to lose his job. So before I end, I only request you to always keep trying. If you don't try, you have to start crying. You have to start crying, because crying will not give you a solution. Jitna, the more water you have in your lipid, that will come out. That also has a limit nowadays. Technology is a prime source which you have to lead. It will not lead, you have to lead. So with this, I come to the conclusion. Thank you. Any questions you can ask. Even दो दिन गालियां भी दे सकते हैं. It's always required.
सर आप इसको हिंदी में बोलते हैं लास्ट वाले को, जब गाली वाला बात करते हैं दोनों टाइम, बाकी टाइम इंग्लिश.
क्या करें, आपको यहाँ पे बहुत सारे यूजर्स हैं इंग्लिश में.
नहीं तो आप हिंदी वाला क्वेश्चन लास्ट में ही बोलते थे. बाकी
रिकॉर्डिंग चल रहे सर.
और यहाँ उल्टा होता, हिंदी वाला क्या होता है, जब वैसे कुछ बोलना था वो इंग्लिश में बोलते हैं.
So I take this time to thank Dr. Rajesh for giving us time to do this. So he has already आप सबको orient किया था AI में initial things में. AI में सीखना ज़्यादा है. ठीक है, अभी AI लिटरेसी पहले थोड़ा 10-15 इयर्स का पहले ICT लिटरेसी, कंप्यूटर लिटरेसी, ये वर्ड ज़्यादा था. अभी AI लिटरेसी भी ज़रूरी है सब टीचर्स के लिए. वी कैन नॉट रन विद जस्ट एक्साइटमेंट ऑफ AI. हम ज़्यादा सिस्टमैटिकली सीखना पड़ता है. ज़्यादा रास्ता ओपन हो रहा है अभी टीचर्स के लिए. सर रेगुलरली ऑनलाइन में यूट्यूब में टीचर्स के लिए ओपन कोर्सेज कंडक्ट कर रहे हैं. AI सेल का नीचे दे आर डूइंग अ लॉट ऑफ वर्क. अभी दिस ईयर में स्टूडेंट्स का भी सेशंस ले लिया, पेरेंट्स का सेशंस ले लिया. सो इट्स डन ऑन द यूट्यूब फॉर अ वाइडर रीच. थोड़ा वो अपॉर्चुनिटीज़ ले लीजिए. देर आर अपॉर्चुनिटीज़. आप हमारा NCERT में ट्रेनिंग पेज है, उनसे ध्यान करना है क्या क्या नया ट्रेनिंग्स आ रहे. सो नेक्स्ट ईयर भी ज़्यादा प्लान है AI ट्रेनिंग टीचर्स का देने के लिए. बट व्हेन इट कम्स यू नीड टू मेक यूज ऑफ इट. सो आपका स्टेट में कुछ AI का काम चल रहा है, आपका कुछ सपोर्ट चाहिए, और एज अ स्टेट यू वांटेड सम रिसोर्स सपोर्ट, you should always write to JD so that JD can allot like no supporting from Dr. Rajesh also. So thank you, sir. So Abhi, let's break for tea. We are 10 minutes away from the session. So let's. So actually today the head and JD are in multiple meetings. So हमको दोनों साथ आना है सर्टिफिकेट देने के लिए. सो भी मैं भी कोशिश कर रहे हैं कैसा दोनों का एक टाइम whenever they are available हम उनका टाइम में सर्टिफिकेट सेशन कंप्लीट कर रहे हैं. Then बाद में सेशन कंटिन्यू करेंगे, because if we have to wait for the end, Professor Indu is not there in the afternoon. She has to go for another meeting. So I'm just trying for everything. So थोड़ा इधर उधर adjust होगा. It will be only within my session, because next is my session and last is my session. In between external resource है, we will not disturb him. बट ये दोनों में किधर भी थोड़ा एडजस्टमेंट होगा, थोड़ा एडजस्ट कर दीजिए, ठीक है।
एक प्रॉब्लम है, हम सुबह जो अपना वीडियो था अपलोड कर रहे थे,
हम टाइम एक्सटेंड कर देंगे।
और दूसरा
एक्चुअली
कि-
मॉर्निंग